Stop scrolling. Sit with this. A book is not ink and paper. It is a doorway that only opens when you are still. When was the last time a sentence slowed your pulse? Deep reading is not escape. It is confrontation. It holds your gaze until your masks slip. It teaches you to stay with one thing long enough to change. In a loud world, this is rebellion. In a fast world, this is mercy. Tonight, choose a page. Close every other window. Breathe. Enter. Let the words rearrange your attention and your life. Turn the page like a vow. Let's set an intention. This is not about finishing a book. It is about letting a book finish you. For the next minutes, we practice a different pace, slow enough to notice, steady enough to change. We choose presence over progress. We choose depth over noise. How does reading change a mind? Start with attention. Attention is not a mood, it is a place. When you read deeply, you build a room inside yourself. You shut the door. You choose one voice. The world keeps shouting, but your mind learns to hold a single thread without dropping it. That skill follows you off the page. Repetition reshapes you. What you repeat, you remember. What you attend to, you become. Deep reading gives your brain patterns worth keeping. Clear arguments, patient questions, honest feelings. Instead of craving the next hit of novelty, your mind discovers the longer sweetness of meaning. Imagination strengthens. Stories are rehearsals for life. You live other lives without leaving your chair. You try on other minds, other motives, other mistakes. Empathy grows because you have walked around inside someone else's weather. Your inner voice changes. The author lends you a mind that isn't yours. You speak with it for a while. When you hand it back, something of its shape remains. If the voice is careful, you become more careful. If the voice is brave, you become a little braver. Memory deepens. Information is what enters. Understanding is what stays. Deep reading slows you down long enough for ideas to settle. Pausing is not a delay, it is digestion. Underline what moves you. Ask the page a question, then wait for it to answer. Clarity returns. Complexity stops being frightening. You learn to hold two ideas without panic. You learn to say, "I don't know yet," and feel no shame. The page trains you in patience, the rarest modern strength. So the intention is simple. Make space, choose one voice, and stay. Let the book do its quiet work. Not as entertainment, but as encounter. Not to escape your life, but to re-enter it with a steadier mind. Let's name the drift pulling us away from books: shallow reading. It feels productive. It feels informed. It is the quick scroll, the skim, the tab you open and forget. It is tasting without chewing. It is jumping from headline to headline, collecting sparks but never making a fire. Shallow reading is not evil. It has its place. It helps you survey a field, catch a news update, compare reviews before you buy a kettle. But it cannot carry weight. It cannot hold a life. When you live on fragments, your attention becomes fragment-sized. Your memory keeps only edges. Your mind gets good at leaving. Shallow reading is speed without arrival. Many inputs, few impressions. Loudness mistaken for importance. You move on because the next thing is already asking for you. This trains the nervous system to expect interruption. It trains the heart to expect distraction. The cost is subtle. You stop trusting yourself to stay. Deep reading is different. It is choosing one thing and letting it matter. It is the long look. It is the slow question. It is the courage to be bored for a minute so that meaning has time to appear. You move through the text, and you let the text move through you. Deep reading begins before the first sentence. You make a small ritual, a chair that faces light, a cup you only use when you read, the phone in another room. You tell your mind, "We are here." Then you begin, unhurried, single-tasking, listening for sense rather than scanning for finish lines. You read with a pencil or with a finger that marks the margin. You underline what makes you feel, not only what makes you think. You write a question to the author and wait. You reread a sentence that resisted you. You pause at the end of a page and look away, letting the page echo. This is not wasted time. This is the time that makes meaning possible. Deep reading is a conversation, not a consumption. You bring your life. The book brings its life. Something third appears between you. Sometimes it is comfort. Often it is friction. Friction is good. Friction burns off the parts of you that only want ease. Friction reveals where you have more to learn. What changes when you read deeply? First, the mind. The mind learns patience. It rediscovers sequence. This idea, then that one, then how they meet. It learns to follow a thought farther than your mood. You begin to see patterns underneath the facts, the architecture behind the story. You can hold two true things without rushing to cancel one. You can say, "I don't know yet," and mean it kindly. Deep reading grows discernment. You start noticing the difference between a loud claim and a strong argument. You feel where a paragraph leans, where a metaphor does work, where a sentence cheats. Your thinking becomes textured, less reactive, more precise. You are harder to fool, including by yourself. Then the body. We treat reading as in the head, but the body is learning too. Breath lengthens, shoulders drop, eyes take on a rhythm. The nervous system shifts from alertness to attentiveness. Stillness stops feeling like a threat. Your body discovers that rest can be awake. Over time, the chair itself becomes a cue. Sit, and the mind settles faster. You become a person who can be with yourself. Ritual helps, light at the same hour, tea that warms the hands, a blanket that signals safety. These are not decorations. They are agreements between matter and meaning. They make reading a place you return to, not a task you squeeze in. Finally, the soul. Call it conscience, depth, the part of you that asks, "What for?" Deep reading is a practice of reverence. You meet minds across centuries, and you feel small in the right way. Humility is not self-loathing, it is accurate proportion. Before a great page, you remember you did not make truth. You came to meet it. The soul brightens in recognition. A line names what you have felt but never said. A story lets you grieve something you did not allow yourself to grieve. A clear argument gives you a spine. Gratitude appears, quiet, durable, unshowy. You become kinder, not because a book told you to, but because you spent time in the company of care. Deep reading also changes how you move through ordinary days. The grocery line becomes a place to think, not to flee. A conversation with a friend holds more silence and more listening. Music sounds different. Walks lengthen. You realize how often you used to reach for your phone just to dodge your own depth. Here is a simple rule. Shallow reading knows many things. Deep reading knows one thing well. One thing well is enough to change you, enough to steady you, enough to make you useful. So choose. Not in judgment, but in intention. Use shallow reading for what it can do, but give the best of your time to depth. Make a room for it. Guard that door. Let the page do its slow, bright work on your mind, on your body, on your soul. And when you close the book, Carry its quiet into the world. Begin with a place. Choose a chair that faces light. Put the phone in another room. Off, not just silent. Place a book within reach, a pencil beside it, a small drink that says, "We're staying." This is your threshold. Cross it the same way each day. Ritual tells the mind what comes next. Set a small measure, 15 pages, 20 minutes, one poem. Start where you can keep a promise. Depth grows when you keep promises to yourself. If the time feels short, good. End wanting more. Desire is fuel for tomorrow. Read with your body. Sit tall. Soften your jaw. Breathe slower than usual. Let your eyes take their time. Tracing a sentence is not a race, it is a walk. When restlessness rises, notice it, don't obey it. Turn the page like a gentle door, not a switch. Read with a pencil. Underline what moves you. Surprise, friction, tenderness. Circle words you don't know. Guess before you look. In the margin, write a question, an arrow, a single word for the feeling in your chest. Margins are where the book meets your life. Practice the pause. At the end of a paragraph, look up. Let the room be quiet. Ask, what is being said? What is being done to me? Close the book for 3 breaths. This is not quitting. This is steeping. Meaning needs heat and time. Keep a commonplace book. Copy a few lines by hand. Underneath, add 1 sentence. Why this matters to you today. Over months, you'll build a map of your becoming. When you feel lost, reread your own map. Reread without shame. A second pass is not repetition, it is depth. The first read meets the book. The second read meets yourself. You will notice the scaffolding, the hidden hinges, the places you turned away. Balance solitude with conversation. After a chapter, speak it aloud to a friend or to your phone's recorder. Teaching is crystallized reading. Start a small circle, a monthly tea, 1 chapter each, no performance, just attention. End with a walk. Leave the chair, step outside, carry 1 sentence in your mouth like a seed. Let it meet the world, the trees, the traffic, the sky. Deep reading is not an escape from life. It is a way back into it, steadier, kinder, more awake. Guard this practice. It will guard you. In the end, deep reading is not about books. It is about becoming the kind of person who can sit with truth without running. A mind that can hold a thought without shaking it for coins. A body that remembers stillness is not surrender. A soul that can recognize beauty and bow. Make it small and real. Tonight, choose 1 page. Clear a space. Read it once for sense, once for feeling. Close your eyes for 3 breaths. Ask, what did this change in me? Write 1 sentence in your commonplace book. Why it mattered today. Tomorrow, return. Keep the promise, not the streak. Let reading season your life. Let it slow your speech, soften your judgments, lengthen your patience. Let it give you a better question than the one you started with. Carry a line to the sink, to the bus stop, to the doorway where you greet someone you love. Let it shape your tone. If you want company, start small. Invite 1 friend to read a chapter with you each week. No performance, no summaries. Just what struck you, what confused you, what stayed. Deep reading grows in shared light. This is a gentle rebellion. Against noise, you offer attention. Against speed, presence. Against certainty, curiosity. You will not always feel like it. That is fine. Sit anyway. Open the page anyway. Most transformations arrive quietly, like dawn through a window you forgot you opened. When you finish, do not rush to the next thing. Close the book softly. Let the silence ring. Notice your breath, your shoulders, your face from the inside. This is what it feels like when a page reads you back. Choose one page. Choose one voice. Choose to stay. I'll meet you there, between the lines. If this journey opened a window for you, tap subscribe and let's keep walking together. If this journey opened a window for you, tap subscribe and let's keep walking together.